Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm here to give you guys my Lucha Underground review for Season 2, Episode 4. And this episode is called Cero, Miedo, which is Pentagon Jr.'s catchphrase. I forget exactly what it means. I think it means, like, break your arm or something like that. But this episode was taped on November 15th, 2015, and it aired on February 17th, 2016. And we had Matt Stryker and Vampiro on commentary for this show. The show opens up with Ivelisse bulging into Katrina's office, demanding that her Son of Havoc and Helico get a rematch for the Lucha Underground Trios Trios Championships. I have to forget that it's called the Lucha Underground Trios Championships. I'm probably gonna mess that up like 30 times per review. But she says no because there's no rematches just handed out. You have to earn those opportunities. She even talked about how Mil Muertes showed mercy on her during the title match. And she makes a match between her, Son of Havoc, and Helico versus another trios team that's looking to get into the championship picture. And Ivelisse agrees to it and says that when they get that her mercy is just going to be them taking their titles back, but afterwards she's going to beat up Katrina, and then she leaves. I don't know, though, what was stopping Ivelisse from not beating up Katrina right then, because there was really nothing stopping her. But other than that, I like this segment. It was good. I like that it set up a match, and I hope this sets up a future match between Ivelisse and Katrina on an episode of Lucha Underground. So I like this. And then we had the first match on the show. It was Ivelisse, Son of Havoc, and Helico versus Chavo, Guerrero Jr. and the Crew. And I thought this was a good way to open up the show. The faces dominate the match early, but then eventually the heels get the heat on Ivelisse for a little bit, and then eventually Ivelisse gets out of it. She tags in Son of Havoc, and he gets a hot tag. He hits a leg sweep into a standing moonsault, I believe, on Mr. Cisco, but then eventually he's hitting suicide dives and is just really on fire. He hits the backflip elbow hip attack into the corner, but then eventually Chavo, Guerrero Jr. Pulls his leg and causes him to go back first onto the turnbuckles, the top turnbuckle, and the Crew hits the treatment on him, and they dominate him for a little bit, but then eventually Son of Havoc gets the hot tag on Helico. He really starts going off on Chavo, Guerrero Jr. and the Crew. He had a really cool, awesome high knee. Ivelisse, Son of Havoc, and Helico all hit just simultaneously dives onto Chavo, Guerrero Jr. and the Crew, and then Helico hits a springboard high knee right onto Cortez Castro, and then he hits the double stomp from the top turnbuckle for the win, and then Helico, Son of Havoc, and Ivelisse go over, which I thought that made sense considering the fact that it builds them up to go after the Trios Championships. Afterwards, Chavo, Guerrero Jr. is going off on the Crew, and Tiano Jr. runs out and attacks the Crew, and Chavo, Guerrero Jr. sacrifices them so that way he can escape. So they're still going to continue the Tiano Jr. Chavo, Guerrero Jr. feud, which I guess is fine. I don't really have like a big issue with it, but yeah, it was nice. I thought this match was good, though I gave it 3 stars. And then we had a video package for Johnny Mundo, and he pretty much reintroduces himself, talks about how he put Lucha Underground on the map right from the first episode, and says that he thought it was a joke that he had to be the opening match at Ultima Lucha, saying that he's consistently putting on 5-star matches week in and week out, and says that he should be the Lucha Underground champion, and he talks crap about Cage. So I actually like this. This was a nice way to continue to put over that feud and remind everybody who Johnny Mundo was. And then Ricky Reyes is backstage, and Joey Ryan comes up to him and makes fun of him because he didn't really do a good enough job convincing anybody that he was a cop. So Ricky Ray suggests that he kicks his ass right now to really prove it to everybody. But Joey Ryan, goes against it and says that unlike him, he could get the job done. And he's going to show him that he's not only a better cop than him, but a better wrestler than him. And that was pretty much that segment. I liked it because it continued to hype up, that storyline where we have, Cortez Castro actually be a cop named Ricky Ways. So I like this segment. And then we had that match. It was Joey Ryan versus Cage. I actually thought this was a good match here. Cage immediately starts off the match hitting a wicked clothesline right under Joey Ryan, and he dominates them in the beginning. And then he goes for the Charles Denham in the corner, but Joey Ryan moves out of the way and he goes shoulder first into the turnbuckle, into the wind post, and Joey Ryan dominates him. He really starts to talk to the arm by hitting various arm bars and a jumping arm DDT. But then eventually Cage starts to mount a comeback. He hits a wicked scoop slam on Joey Ryan and hits a wicked bicycle kick. And then eventually Joey Ryan hits 3 super kicks in a row but doesn't get the pinfall. And I gotta say, Joey Ryan acted very creepy in this matchup. He oiled himself up, not just on his body, but he actually did it right on his crotch as well. It was pretty disturbing. And eventually Cage actually gets the win with a like an elevated tombstone pile driver, which is called the screwdriver, and gets the win, which obviously that made sense because Cage is being promoted, pushed into a feud with Johnny Mundo, so he's obviously going to get some nice big wins, and I just think like Cage a little bit more anyway, so there's that. And then afterwards, Johnny Mundo comes up from behind, hits a spear on him and attacks Cage, hits a running knee to the head, hits a springboard spin kick, and he goes for the end of the world, but Cage counters it and reverses a second spin kick into the Weapon X, and afterwards he says to Johnny Mundo that he's not just a man, he's a machine. And we find out that on the next episode in the main event, we're going to have Johnny Mundo versus Cage, which I actually think will be a really good match. They had a really good match in the first season of Lucha Underground, so I think they'll have a really good match there. And then next we see and as for the star rating for the Joey Ryan Cage match, I gave it 3 stars. I thought it was a good match. But then we have El Dragon Azteca Jr. and Rey Mysterio Jr. training together. And, Rey Mysterio Jr. tells the story of the Cueto family between, the Dario Cueto family and the El Dragon Azteca's family. We find out that they used to be, that the 7 tribes used to be united. They used to be together, but then eventually Dario Cueto took a dark path. Well, Dario Cueto's great-grandfather took a dark path and started starting wrestling promotions and pissing off, the 7 Aztec gods, and that, Dragon Azteca died because he wasn't supposed to go to the temple, for vengeance, and he did and took a big risk. So Rey Mysterio Jr. said that he's training him to bring the gods back together. So I actually like this. It's a little bit goofy, but I actually kind of like this storyline, and it's a nice way to, incorporate Rey Mysterio Jr. into it. I can't wait till I see him actually debut in Lucha Underground, because I know that's coming eventually, because they're not going to just bring him in just to do this, but I really like it. I think it's awesome. And then we had the main event match on the show. It was Prince Puma versus Pentagon Jr. I thought they had a really good match. Prince Puma dominates the match up early, and he hits a drop kick, sending Pentagon Jr. on the outside. He goes for a dive, but Pentagon Jr. pulls him out, hits a chop right onto him, and he throws him headfirst into the post. And Pentagon Jr. dominates the matchup, hits a wicked chop right onto Prince Puma, but then eventually Prince Puma mounts a comeback. He hits a really cool suicide dive on the outside, a backflip dive on the outside, which was awesome. But then he goes for another springboard moonsault, but Pentagon Jr. counters into a drop kick, gets a near fall. Pentagon Jr. hits a lawn blower. Prince Puma kicks out again. Prince Puma hits a wicked arm drag right off the top turnbuckle, which was awesome. And Pentagon Jr. hits a super kick, and they both exchange super kicks. Pentagon Jr. hits the package power driver, but then eventually puts Prince Puma into the surfboard submission move, and he gets him into the Dragon Sleeper version of it. But then Prince Puma reverses it into a roll up himself. Both men's shoulders are down, so we don't necessarily know who gets the victory. Pentagon Jr. thinks that he got the win, but we find out that it was actually Prince Puma. So Pentagon Jr. is upset about this, and he super kicks the referee. But then he goes to attack Prince Puma, but then Prince Puma hits a tornado DDT, I believe, and then he goes to break Pentagon Jr.'s arm, but his morality just can't bring himself to do it, so he doesn't break his arm, and that was pretty much the end of the show. But at least the end of that segment. But I really like this. I really like the match. I give it 3 3/4, and I like the finish a lot. It keeps Pentagon Jr. looking strong, and I'm assuming they're going to do a rematch with Prince Puma and Pentagon Jr. This time the winner will become the #1 contender, Tomio Moi's Lucha Underground Championship, because he was yet again watching from the top of the temple, as he has been these past few episodes. And I really like the way Pentagon Jr. looked, and I like that Vampiro was even kind of showing mercy about the possibility of Prince Puma breaking Pentagon Jr.'s arm. I liked that. Kind of keeps that storyline going in a little way. So I like this 3 3/4 stars. But then the show ends with Sexy Star running away from, we think, Marty the Moth Martinez, and she comes up to someone, and it's actually the Mac, and she asks who did this to Sexy Star, and at first she says the Moth, so he thinks he's talking about Marty the Moth Martinez, and then she says no, her, and he turns around, and we don't quite see who it is, but it was supposed to probably assume that it's Marty the Moth Martinez's sister, and the show just ends. But I like it. It's a nice little cliffhanger for the ending of the show. And overall, that was pretty much this episode. And I thought this was a good episode. I don't think it was as good as the past 3 episodes, but I still thought it was good. I liked it. I'm going to give it a B-. I thought all the matches are good. I like how it furthered the Rey Mysterio Jr., Dario Cueto storyline they have going on, and the Sexy Star storyline. And, obviously the Ricky Reyes, Joey Ryan thing they have going on. So I thought this was a good episode, so I'll give it a B-. But that's pretty much the end of this review. Thank you guys for watching. Please make sure you guys like, comment, and share this video so people will watch it. Make sure you guys subscribe to this channel for more content and click on the bell, so that way every time I upload a video, you guys will get the notifications for it. And make sure you guys do the same thing for my CM Brothers and no other Talking Data YouTube channels. And that's pretty much it, guys. Talk to you later.